Hello fellow Star Wars fans, my name is Starrapter and welcome to the channel. Today I'm very excited to talk about the upcoming book, Star Wars Dark Legends. So this one comes out from Disney Lucasfilm Press on July 28th. You can pre-order it now wherever books are sold. I have its link to its Amazon page in the description down below. So this one is written by George Mann with illustrations by Grant Griffin. If that team sounds familiar to you, it's because they've already worked on Star Wars before. They've done Myths and Fables. So basically I think this book really spins out of Myths and Fables quite literally, because there is a story that came from Myths and Fables and it is elaborated more on in this book. And this book is all about the dark side users of the galaxy far, far away. And it goes from some characters that you might have seen from before the Phantom Menace to some certain locations you could have seen in a sequel trilogy. And it puts this very horrifying spin on them. This reminds me of Tales from the Crypts, that old HBO series. And it's quite creepy. And there's lots of things in our real life that kind of make a jump into Star Wars. For instance, you have like Shistavarian, I think that's how you pronounce it, one of those wolf species that basically becomes a werewolf. So there's a story about that. There's a story about somebody having hallucinations on a Star Destroyer. There's a Jedi that has like this second personality that they don't know about, where they go hunting at night. So there's lots of really interesting stories in here that kept me really engaged. This is a quick read. It's about 200 pages long. Each one of these 7 short stories is about 30 pages in length. So it's very quick, but the pacing is great, because just as you're getting to the climax of one story, you start reading the next story, you instantly get engaged. And that's what I like about the writing style for George Mann, is he writes so eloquently in a way that just makes you want to keep seeing what is going to be behind that door, or what's around that corner, like what's going to happen. It's called Dark Legends, and there's a lot of darkness in these stories. I think there's one story in here that has a happy ending. Every other story in here, it doesn't end very well for any of the characters involved. I do like the artwork that Grant Griffin provides at the beginning of every story. It does give you that visual aid to what you might experience, what kind of dark side user you might experience in the story. And as much as I thought this book was engaging and very scary at points, I'm like looking at it like, okay, so this is meant for the age range of 8 to 12. I don't know if an 8-year-old might want to read this story, because they might have nightmares for several nights. I know probably I would have if I read this book at that age range. Also, another negative would be maybe the cover could have been devised a little bit differently. I don't really like the gaudiness of this cover a whole lot. I think they had some good ideas with the symbols of the Galactic Empire and the Sith Eternal, but then you have Darth Vader's helmet, and it just doesn't look quite as good as some of the other covers in the past. Plus, the actual physical size of this book is a little bit shorter than your normal Disney Lucasfilm Press book. So on the bookshelf, it might not fit entirely well. However, I do like the worn pages, the feel of it almost being like a book that somebody found, because that's how the introduction of this book is it sets this book up as an in-universe book for kids that might pick up in the galaxy and read this and learn some valuable lessons, and also learn them by being scared out of their minds for that ever to happen to them. So yes, it's cool where it does give you that sort of, oh, it's a lost tome that somebody found. But again, I wish that the cover could have maybe enhanced that image to actually look more like an old tome. That'd be very interesting. But with that being said, I gotta give Star Wars Dark Legends a score of an 8.5 out of 10. If you guys like your horror and your Star Wars, you're gonna really enjoy this. This also reminded me of the Star Wars Adventures Return to Vader's Castle series by IDW, a great other horror series of Star Wars stories. So what did you guys think of this review? Do you think you're going to pick up Dark Legends? Did you read Myths and Fables? Let's talk about it all in the comment section down below. For more on Star Wars, you're already in the right place. Make sure if you're new to the channel and if you like this content, you go ahead and subscribe to this channel. That way you'll be notified of future Star Wars videos. And that is going to do it. Thank you so much for watching, and may the Force be with you always. Thanks for checking out the video. Please hit that thumbs up symbol. It helps me know that I'm making content that you guys enjoy. And if you enjoyed this video, I also included 2 videos down below you guys should check out. and please consider subscribing to this channel. It helps support me and it notifies you guys of when I get new videos up on the channel. You can also contact me on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram at Starrapter.